defining my life this year was kind of like the theme of the season. It was kind of the theme of me as a person. You know, losing my father this year, you know, came out of, well, I won't say came out of nowhere, um, because my dad was sick. I knew he was. He just would never tell me, but he was sick. I knew he was. Um, Still grieving, still trying to get over it. According to my therapist, I'm actually grieving better than I thought I was. I think I've said this before that it's a year for it's my year first. It's so my dad's birthday was just recently and I cried and teared up over it and posting pictures of him and just trying to go through that and my of course my milestones this year with the podcast and usually he would send me something and man, be done. I'm done. I'm proud of you or something like that. And you tell me that, and I didn't get that this year, so it was kind of like year first. It's like fuck, okay, like and reading his text messages, and it's hard to kind of go back and read his text messages and just stuff like that. So yeah, this year was hard, man. It wasn't personally, it was very fucking hard. Um, Losing a lot of things, losing my father was just not on my fucking list at all this year. Um, but this podcast has helped me. Again, it will always be this podcast, no matter what it is. Um, it would always keep me grounded. I think because it started off being so personal, and it started off being about my mental health and how I'm handling my situations. Excuse me, and how I'm dealing with things, and it has now turned into something bigger than just that. I actually, like I've always said, I started this podcast wanting to talk about music and sports and entertainment and shit like that, and occasionally talk about myself. This year has become that. It has literally now grown into its own thing, and thank God it did. Yeah, thank God it did. But even in that sense, man, every episode I've done, I wanted to make sure, that this season had a little bit of that in it, defining my life, and my life was it's been hard, man. Like I said, this whole year has been difficult. 2024 has been one of the hardest years I think I've ever had to experience in my life, and I was born with a heart condition, so 2024 has been a very hard year, but I made it through the other side, man. All of us have, and I think that's the one thing about I guess defining my life is that I'm tougher than I think I am, mentally. Like I said, my therapist told me I'm grieving better than I thought I was.